All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to tackle a question that, well, it haunts so many successful tech companies. We're going to explore that painful journey from a big, clunky monolith to the promise of microservices. So let's start with the big problem, the one that probably brought you here. Your application is a hit, right? It's growing, people love it, but behind the scenes, every little change feels like moving a mountain. Why? Why does success so often lead to a system that's just stuck? That's the core tension we're going to pull apart today. Okay, so let's get into the diagnosis. The root of this problem usually lies in one single massive application, what we all call a monolith. Now, at the start, it's great. It's simple, it's fast to build. But as it grows, oh boy, it starts to develop some serious growing pains. This quote, man, it just nails the feeling. The system basically becomes this giant black box. You might be an expert in your little corner, but no single person can hold the entire thing in their head anymore. And think about that. If you can't understand the whole system, how can you possibly change it without worrying you're going to break something totally unexpected? And you can see how these challenges create this awful, vicious cycle. Because the code is too big to really grasp, making a change is super risky. And because changes are risky, what do? You bundle them all up into these huge, infrequent, high-stakes, big bang deployments. This just grinds innovation to a halt. And forget about scaling just one part that's getting hammered with traffic. With a monolith, it's all or nothing. You're constantly trapped, having to choose between moving fast and, not breaking things. So how do you break out of that trap? Well, it's not about a new technology. It's about a completely different way of thinking. It really requires this fundamental shift in philosophy about how we build software that's meant to last. This insight right here is the absolute key. It's a total light bulb moment. For decades, the focus was on building systems to be maintainable, right? Meaning we could just patch them and update them forever. But this new way of thinking asks a totally different question. What if, instead of trying to keep a component on life support forever, we designed it to be easily and safely replaced? You can really see the contrast here. Maintenance is all about preservation, patching things up, which, let's be honest, usually just adds more and more complexity over time. Replacement, on the other hand, is about building small, disposable pieces of code that you can just swap out entirely. It doesn't try to fight complexity. It manages it by keeping change isolated to these small, understandable units. So this whole philosophy of replaceability, it naturally leads you to a whole new architectural style. I mean, if you want to build replaceable components, you've got to start structuring your application as a collection of small, independent services. Now, let's look closely at this definition, because the words here really matter. The most important part is style of engineering. This isn't some framework you just download or a tool you buy off the shelf. Nope. It's an entire approach, a whole mindset for building systems that are designed from day one to evolve and be automated. Let's look at how these characteristics build that foundation. So each service is small. It's focused on one specific business job, a bounded context. This lets teams develop them autonomously. But the most powerful, the most game-changing characteristic on this whole list is that they are independently deployable. This is where the magic really truly happens. But what does independently deployable actually mean in the real world? And why is it such a game changer for a dev team? Well, it completely rewrites the rules for releasing software. I mean, the contrast is just night and day. In the monolith world, you've got that one giant, terrifying release day where a single bug can stop everything and everyone has to coordinate. It's a nightmare. With microservices, you have lots of small, low-risk releases happening all the time. If one team's deployment fails, it doesn't affect anyone else. They can just ship their features the second they're ready. And the benefits just ripple out from there. Suddenly, teams aren't blocking each other anymore, so multiple projects can move forward at the same time. If one non-critical service goes down, hey, the rest of the application can keep on chugging. And maybe most importantly, it makes it so much easier to innovate. You can spin up a new service to test an idea, and if it doesn't work out, you just throw it away. No harm, no foul. Let's just zoom out for a second, though, because at the end of the day, breaking an application into smaller pieces isn't really the goal in itself. The real objective here is to solve that fundamental conflict we started with, that constant trade-off between moving fast and staying stable. This right here, this is what it's all about. The whole point of this architectural style is to create a system where speed and safety are no longer fighting each other. Instead, they work together in harmony. You can make small, safe changes incredibly fast, which lets you innovate at a crazy pace while actually increasing the reliability of your system. You finally get to have your cake and eat it too. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Look at your own systems, your own teams. Is your architecture set up in a way that pits speed against safety, forcing you into that painful cycle of trade-offs? Or is it designed for harmony, where making small, safe changes actually lets you move faster than ever before?
Hey, if this explainer helped clear things up for you, do me a favor and hit that like button, share it with your team, and subscribe for more deep dives. Thanks so much for watching.